Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome back to the stream. It's me, DigiDriver, welcoming you to your Saturday, May 25th, 2024, unless you're overseas in places like Australia or Japan, in which case, good morning to you. It would be May 26th, a Sunday. So, hello and welcome back. I am back in Euro Truck Simulator 2. I talked about this sim for a little while and was one of the first sims other than Microsoft Flight Sim that I spent a lot of time playing over the past, I'd say, sheesh now, almost 10 years. That's kind of nuts. It's amazing. So I've had Euro Truck Simulator 2 in one way or another, at one point or another, over the past almost 10 years. Whether I was playing it actively or just kind of checking in every once in a while. I have recently had an uptick in gameplay, and I am starting to see the fruits of my decision because there are certain areas that are being revamped, being reworked, and there's also I think, like trade relations with Switzerland event, which is going on. The Maverick Mike, hello. Welcome aboard, my friend. Happy to have you aboard. I am just about to get started with a Euro Truck stream, and I might swap over to Microsoft Flight Sim later, depending on how many jobs I do and what's going on. But had a pretty nice, active afternoon. I helped Mrs. DG rearrange a room and move furniture and, just kept things up every once in a while, every once in a great while, having this is a really cool thing. So she's convinced me again and again. This is, it's a great thing, and I'm so happy that she convinces me that we actually go for it. It's just a good thing. So let's go ahead and jump into ETS. Let's fire this thing up and go do some jobs. It was a Northwest bundle. Nice. I am probably a good three or so scenery releases behind. Maybe one of these days I will get a good chunk of disposable cash and just catch up with everything at once. But right now I am minding my pennies and doing the best I can. Let's jump back in the sim and get some work done. So I need to have external contracts or external market deliver 20 million tons of cargo to Switzerland from any other country, or go from Switzerland to any other country to deliver cargo. Let's see. Let me just check the volume real fast. Okay, you should be able to hear me still. If I'm too quiet or the sim's too loud, just let me know. I want to find deliveries from here, either to the UK or Switzerland, or fast travel to Switzerland to do some work. Let's see. That's fairly lengthy. Geneva, Switzerland. That's a little bit less than 40 minutes. And that will take me to Switzerland. And that will be a pretty good use of mileage and stuff. But that's also somebody else's trailer. So that's not what I want. I want the external market to be able to get stuff to Switzerland using my trailer. Well, I can always do the cargo market and get closer to Switzerland first. Haven't been to Clermont yet. Let's go. It does take a little bit to load, so the music skips sometimes. That happened to me yesterday. but that was the first time I actually updated the sim. It was like a 20 plus gigabyte update. Here is my truck. I delivered something to Le Havre. Le Havre? I'm sorry, I'm butchering the name. I'm trying to learn French again, but at the same time, my pronunciation cannot be guaranteed. But this is my trailer. This is a Volvo cab over. I've themed the truck and the trailer to match. I forget what the name of the livery is, but I've liked this for some time. I really enjoy it. It's a nice truck. I like it. I've put many, many, many miles in this truck. Parking brakes off. Let's go for a haul. Let's see. Was I supposed to stay where I was? It probably was. Yeah, so was it right here? Yes, it was. Ha ha ha. Oh, you know what though? It wasn't. It wasn't. So I can back this thing up now. I don't know, man. Sometimes there's something so satisfying about piloting a big, heavy truck in a sim like this. Right, good enough. Reloading the truck. Let's get going. Alright, so I've got roughly 25-ish minutes of real time for this first haul, which is a nice way to kind of get settled in. Let's get going. At this point, I've probably had about, I'm gonna say, if we consolidate the number of years that I've had in this game based on the number of just down to a consistent number, like if I was playing this year after year without stopping, I would say I probably averaged about 6 years of solid gameplay. I've got garages, extra drivers, and I recently outfitted a garage, I think a couple nights ago, so I should be set for residual income. But I do like driving, so. Oh, wow. Lots of traffic. Nice van. Let's go to Le Mans. Some people like playing American Truck Sim more than Euro Truck Sim, and some people like it the opposite way around. I live in the US, so American Truck Simulator has more of a pull to me as somebody that lives here. I haven't been to every state, but it's easier for me to recognize certain landmarks or certain areas of the country. Whereas I'm sure folks that live in Europe are way more easily drawn to driving in Euro Truck Sim 2 because of the familiarity of landmarks that they're used to. All right, let's go ahead and do the easy passy type thing. The more I play this sim, it's like I haven't like spent too much time looking at it, looking at the details, but they do kind of start to creep up. The amount of detail and the amount of progress that we've had in terms of graphics and updates, the user interface being one of them, it's cool. Wow, this is a bridge, all right. With World of Trucks contracts, I don't think the sim lets me drive my truck faster than 90 kilometers an hour. So that's a restriction. But I'm not driving an external contract right now. I'm driving like a cargo contract from the game. So I can probably go faster. I do think there is a game setting that I have that just keeps my truck governed. So it's not going to go much faster than 90. Unless I'm going downhill. And welcome aboard, everybody. In case you haven't seen this before, this is Euro Truck Simulator 2 by SCS Software, and it is one of the simulators that I like to drive in more often than not. I like it. It's enjoyable. And when you kind of get in this zone of either knocking out the contracts or doing your work and going from city to city, even just driving the truck in a more consistent manner, there's just, in my opinion, a sense of satisfaction that I get about it. Right now, I'm not trying to drive on every single road in the game. I don't have every single DLC. I think I need to get the Iberia or, Spain DLC to be able to have everything. There's also a Japanese scenery mod that's available for free, but that one does require every single DLC. There was an old one that I used to drive in central Japan, but the roads weren't as extensive, and it took me a while to get around. Even though I wasn't driving as far, the speed limits were way more restrictive. So I liked it for a while, but I kind of stopped playing it eventually because I was just like, no thanks. But that's where I am. I'm fine, thank you. How are you? Did I drive in this way a few nights ago? No, I don't remember. I'm gonna say no. Interesting sculpture by the side of the road. Mural, if you want to call it that. Oh, coming up on a toll booth. Thank you. Oh, there goes a bus. Looks like I'm gonna have to go that way. Such is life. Two-faced disc. Good afternoon, my friend. It is a privilege having you aboard. Ladies and gentlemen of the Twitch chat, if you are not familiar with Two-Faced Disc 799, I would highly suggest you go check out his channel. One of my longtime friends on Twitch, a supporter of this channel, and somebody with some aspirations of a sort, if you will. If you're curious about Two-Faced Disc's content and what you can find on his channel and or Discord, I'd highly suggest following him. He comes with my recommendation beyond the shadow of a doubt. Welcome aboard, friend. Good to see you. We are delivering some cargo to, I would say, central France. And I left the French coast probably about like 10 minutes ago. Oh man, dude, it's the least I can do. I felt these days like I've wanted to support people significantly more than I had in the past, and honestly, this is just one way to do it. How am I doing? I am a little tired, but very happy. In a sense that Mrs. Digi and I took care of some housework today, some necessary housework, and now it's done. And we're just chilling. She's taking care of her business stuff, and I right now am trucking. I might be flying a little bit later, but right now I'm happy to be doing this at the moment. Enjoying the French countryside as it were, and very happy to have friends like you aboard. How have I been the past couple of months? I'm not gonna lie, it's been rough. I've been trying to figure out how to get increasingly more and more challenging tasks done at work, and have felt the load, to be very transparent. But in life right now, the object of what I'm trying to accomplish is just simple. It's just to keep going. And there's challenge, and there's so many benefits that come from it. It's just that we don't see it that way initially as people. And without going into too many details, essentially what happened was about starting in February, when I really got involved in the work that I was doing, it became clear to me pretty quickly that this was extremely challenging and not what I was expecting it to be. And it kind of whoops it kind of grabbed my attention. So it was one of those things where, it's like, hey, well, guess what? That's life. Either go somewhere else or get stronger. And I had to get stronger for several reasons, take care of my family and figure out what to do and all these things that don't normally happen when you are cushy and comfortable and well accustomed to being inside of a comfort zone. So I had to choose to grow up and get more knowledgeable about the stuff that I was doing. And I've had some limited success with that. It's actually been interesting and encouraging at times. But when I came to the end of my workday yesterday, I have to admit that I felt really, really just low on energy. Like low as in when you get to the point after you've walked a great distance or you've done what you needed to do, but you kind of look around and you're like, whoa, like this is like I'm tired. So it's something that I can certainly go into more detail as appropriate, but right now it's Saturday. I'm trucking. I'm relaxing, and I desire to unwind my brain. And that was something else that I did yesterday that I didn't expect to do per se. Almost absolutely nothing. There's, in one sense, this kind of pleasant surprise where when I let my brain cool down extensively and not try to accomplish anything massive, not even try to do scenery development, I just I felt better. And I mean, I felt more at ease. And sometimes that's what has to happen. Like, essentially, I don't know, I guess I had to give my brain a chance to cool down. So here I am letting my brain cool down and enjoying myself. I'm going to go past Bordeaux. And as it turns out, trucking is a very nice way for me to chill out. So here we are. Okay, cruise control's back on. I can just focus on keeping the pointy end going forward. But if I'm being sincerely and unbelievably transparent, I would I caught myself asking myself a question a few days ago that made me stop and think. Do I want to do what I do for a living anymore? Um, I don't talk much about my IRL work, except that, some of you know that I write software for a living. That's probably all that needs to be said right now. But at the same time, I do sometimes wonder whether or not I'm still cut out for that. And I've taken more time to think about that. If I wasn't doing what I normally do right now, what would I shoot for? I talked about it a little bit on Studio Connect's stream last night. I think I would probably go and start a business and see what I could do. The problem is that, that either takes money, or I would definitely need to ensure that I could guarantee at least a modest revenue stream, enough to know that I could take care of the essential things. And it's not that, the essential things go like, oh, Digi has to have a sports car. Honestly, that's one of the last things on my mind right now. There are some vehicles that I certainly wouldn't mind owning at one point or another, but that's not the reason why. The reason why I still have, as Han Solo once put it, delusions of grandeur, is because there are certain things that I want to do for. Oh, looks like Megs is blocked. Huh. Uh-oh. Ugh. That's a bad day. Unexpected detour. Random events in Euro Truck Sim and American Truck Sim can happen based on what the chance is you set in your settings, like your gameplay. So occasionally this happens. But I don't know if you guys can relate to the same issue that I have. It happens. Like sometimes you in life, things get shaken up, and you start asking yourself hard questions. Like, what is it that's keeping me here, or what is it that I'm shooting for, and what is it that I want to accomplish? I I think that's why I like sims like this, because driving has always been something that I've used as a way of mellowing out my brain. I've taken to vehicular transportation as a means of just, in one sense, chilling out. My car is my prayer room. When I'm by myself and I've got 45 minutes, sheesh, even 30 minutes or longer, it's a place where I can not exactly let my thoughts roam, but give myself a chance to get my thoughts out, think about the way things are, the way things are going. I genuinely take advantage of the time, because it's a place where I can just be and chill and pray and think. These days I don't do commutes because I'm very grateful to be able to work remotely. But even a 10 to 15 minute run into town to get something to come back is a break in the action, a chance for me to be somewhere else, to just think about stuff for a moment. And in my line of work, sometimes the tiniest breaks produce the most significant results. At least that's how I think about it anyway. Yeah, yeah. I like to be in the car, and I like to think, and I like to be not necessarily alone with my thoughts, but again, let them out and take a look at them. And I can be open and honest with you guys. Like, I know, I don't use language in this stream. I certainly don't talk about, like explicit content, but I like to talk about, grown things with you guys, especially anyone here that's actually in a similar boat. You know, not old, but definitely out of college, doing the work or doing the things that they need to do in order to actually make a living. I have had moments over the past several months where I've really had to either reconcile the way things are in the world or just say, hey, I'm I'm not I'm not feeling the best right now. Oh, a little more. I've I felt really, really tired, really, really blasted. If Mrs. Digi was sitting next to me, she could tell you there were days where she literally saw me as a different person. Not her, but just the challenge of the day really, really parked on my face, and she could see it. She could see it. Sometimes that's what you have to do as an individual. You have to work, and you have to work hard, because like Nick Fury said in the Winter Soldier, you know, you have to see the world as it like he saw the world as it is, not as we want it to be. Like sometimes that's just the way it works. You're dealing with life. It's not nice. It's not pretty. And you have a goal. You have a task to accomplish. And you can either acknowledge it and do it, or you can go do something else. And that's kind of where I've been in terms of accomplishing or trying to do work. And sometimes the difficulties and the challenges and the human factors involved with what I do in the real world, they can get demoralizing. You can get to a place where you're like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to accomplish the goal that's been set in front of me. And at my level, the answer is not, oh, I feel so bad for you. Take a few moments, come sit here, let's talk about it. No, the answer is like, oh, well, this has to get done, so go do it. And some folks are potentially going to be less polite than that in saying that, and they're going to expect you to get it done. So that's where I've been. I've been growing or trying to grow thicker skin and just doing my best to keep the job that I have because I know the job market sucks, and trying to keep it because, hey, health benefits, right? A lot of folks deal with situations where they not only bring home the bacon for their family, but they also have to make sure there's a platform by which you can continue to take care of the needs of your family members. And that's one way we do it in the States. In other countries, that's not even on the table. Like, you know, and even to a certain extent, if you had to leave a job, I think there's certain legal mandates that require you to have some kind of medical insurance coverage, as opposed to what we have here. But believe me when I say that's a different conversation. That's not something that I need to, get into details about. But yeah, I've thought about stuff like that the past few days, past few weeks, past few months, and I've just had to, piece together what I want to do. The one thing that I've wanted to do, and the one thing that I've wanted to just keep going on, is literally giving life everything that I have, because I need to, for my family, for my extended family, because not necessarily because of the reputation or the example that I'm setting. That's not high up on my list of priorities. That kind of comes as a natural side effect of trying to do my best on a daily basis. I know that what I do is necessary because it's taking care of my family. And I said that already, but I mean to say, I mean to basically say, hey, this is just how things have to get done. This is just the way it is. So, like, suck it up, do your job, don't complain, and get after it. So, realistically, that's where I've been. And it's necessary, and it's the way things are, and it costs energy. It does take it out of you. But I can find comfort in knowing that my strength doesn't have to be exclusively permanently cultivated by me. But look at that. Looks like a 737 taking off. Nice. Must be an airport nearby. My strength comes from Yahweh Elohim, the Lord God Almighty. My peace and the ability for me to continue on in the face of difficulty after difficulty and just miscommunication after miscommunication, it stems from Him. It comes from Him. It will always come from Him, regardless of whether or not I have the ability to solve a situation immediately, or if it takes me a couple of weeks to. Regardless of whether or not I have the ability to continue in a certain capacity, or whether or not I have to figure out something else to do with my time. And chat, I'm confident you're adult enough to read between the lines, so I'm not going to go into extensive detail about challenges or difficulties. If you're a part of my checks and balances, then just know that you already understand the story, and that I'm aware of some of the things that I have to do to keep going. But if you're not, believe me when I say, regardless of whatever a day brings, the Lord my God will get me through it, or He'll get me home. And that's it. Like, I don't have to freak out about, oh, well, I don't know, I don't know how to solve the problem. But at the end of the day, a solution will be provided, or I'll go into the next day and then we'll work on the solution. So, that's been me over the past few days, a few weeks, and a few months. I would say the current IRL work climate has presented some challenges to me staying consistent on scenery development because of the amount of time that I've been putting into my work weeks. We'll just call them, between quotes, very long work weeks. And by very long, I mean significantly longer than 40 hours a week. So that bleeds into my personal time, and I have to decide what things are more and less important. The less important things don't happen. The more important things keep happening. And that's it. Part of being an adult means you understand there are going to be certain things that you have to choose to do, and certain things that you won't be able to do no matter how much you want to get them done. Either because you just don't have the mental energy, or you simply aren't able to do them because of the fact that you you have to account for your ability, not your ability, your schedule. That's it. But I am more and more humbled by the sphere of friends that I have that come around, that offer their support and their understanding, and that remind me of the necessity of what I do and what it takes for me to accomplish that. Your support and your encouragement are well received, and I'm grateful to know you. That goes for, that goes for Twitch chat, that goes for my friends that aren't here, my friends that are on Twitch but occasionally stop in or don't always stop in. I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful for my Twitch chat. I'm grateful for my friends outside. I'm grateful for my support system because they have been divinely provided as a way for me to be able to make sure I understand what truly matters, what's truly important about each day. So I'm happy to have them, and I'm happy to be in a place where I can continue. I've got about maybe, let's see, 3 minutes, like 5 to 10 minutes until my destination. An hour of game time goes by pretty quickly, especially when you're on the open road. So we're almost there, I think. In terms of Euro Truck Sim 2, there are some things coming down the pipeline. I believe there's going to be a new scenery under development very soon, if it hasn't already started. There's this thing called the Nordic Adventure, which they are working on right now. There was a research trip made. If you play Euro Truck Simulator 2 at all, you know that parts of Sweden and Norway are not filled in. The northern parts. So I guess that's what they're working on now. They did a recent rework of, I want to say, what was it? Was it Scandinavia? Yeah, I think it was Scandinavia and Germany. And I don't know if anyone else picked up on this, but it looks to me like it is different. Like there's extra detail. When I got started, I didn't have very much in the way of scenery, and I think I went back and forth between, I think, like Germany and the Netherlands and France and England. So I got accustomed to the scenery, and it looked kind of samey. The difference was sometime in the past, like 2 to 3 years, as I bought more and more scenery packs, and as they started reworking some of the areas in the game, I started noticing more details. I started appreciating the traffic more. I still enjoy doing deliveries in this game. Okay, I can't get around this truck even if I absolutely floored it, so I'm not gonna bother. And here we go. Pulling into town at night. We're almost there. I have not visited this town yet. And now I have. We will see whether or not we actually go from here to Switzerland, or maybe make a couple of really quick deliveries. I don't know. Hmm. Did I purchase this place? No. I'll double back here before I leave, probably, and buy it. But I can also buy garages online now. You can go from the main menu to the garage manager and just buy garages, because I've been doing this for a while. I don't know if it's the same for everybody when they get started or not, but we're here. I feel like being quick about it, and there's not that much more experience to be had, so let's just go ahead and around the back and discharge the cargo in a way more convenient for me. Or maybe not that convenient. Wow. All right, let's see. It's surprising how tricky parking right next to the wall is, because you kind of want to do it right the first time. But there we go. Parking brake and engine. Canned beef. All right. I'm on my way to level 30. Some people are probably way higher up the chain than I am. But that took about 40 some odd minutes of real time. Let me confirm. Is that about the same? Yeah. Yeah, I'd say. I'd say. All right, let's see if the company has any offers to take me into Switzerland. Hmm. I could go to Dover. I could also go to Oslo. So let's see. 12 hours is roughly 40 minutes of game time. 24 hours would be an hour, almost an hour and a half. So an hour and a half plus another 40 minutes, well, about 30 minutes. So that'd be about 2 hours of real-time driving to go to wait, Oslo's in Norway, not Sweden. Um, I don't think I'm gonna go that far. No, no, I'm good. I'm good. Let's see. Rennes, Dover, Oslo, Lyon. I could take this job. Make a quick buck. Let's go. I haven't took an ultra short job in a long time. That's funny. I did a long haul stream, I think about 5 or 6 months ago, in American Truck Sim, where I drove from Arizona all the way up to the very northwestern tip of Washington State. It took about 2 hours worth of time. It did. It was fun. It, it did take it out of me a little bit, and I think I'd enjoyed it enough to probably do it again at some point, just not today. So I might do another maybe one or two runs in ETS tonight, and then probably swap over into Microsoft Flight Simulator, either to do like a regional op, or to go into the landing challenges, because I actually kind of got it back into landing challenges to just kind of get some more landing experience under my belt. I sometimes I sometimes don't deliberately try practicing approaches, but for lack of a better phrase, the landing challenges are enjoyable for me. I don't touch them very often, so if I take one up, it's usually because I'm deliberately interested in practicing an approach. Well, not like study level practice, but I'm saying I I want to practice it. Okay, so we've got to cross town with our cargo. We'll go ahead and get rid of this at this point. And here is my delivery point. So, where do you need it? Down the way. Let's go ahead and build up that XP today with backing it in. All right. Let's go ahead and bring the truck this way. Can I do it from here? Maybe. Looking good, chat. Looking good. Alright, so give me a little bit more. I'm like right up against the wall. I'm not sure how good this is going to be. Need to fix it. Okay. There we go. Happy with that? All right. Any offers here to Switzerland? Oh, also, I forgot to check external markets. That's it. I'm not going to Denmark. That might not be a bad way to go. I'm not going back to Germany. Le Mans, Toulouse, Lyon. That would get me one step closer. If I go to Lyon and I do not see any jobs going into Switzerland, like to Geneva or Bern, I'm probably going to call it. So I'm hoping there's a small chunk that takes me into Switzerland, and then I can set myself up for future deliveries during the week. But we'll see where this one takes us. Ooh, it's raining. Proceed to the loading area. Where are we? The loading area is like literally right next to me. I don't care about that. They can load me here. All right, parking brake off. Let's go get going. I'll probably do one more after this if it does take me into Switzerland. If it doesn't, then we'll see. All right, so we are getting out of here. That was funny. Just going across town to deliver something. I mean, it happens. It's either that or walking across town with all that cargo, so clearly that's not something that needs to be done. Speaking of freight, let's keep it going. Pixel Penguin, welcome aboard, my friend. I am very happy to have you aboard today. Folks, my friend, Pixel Penguin, somebody that I do karaoke with on Mustafa's karaoke streams that happen every once in a while, and also a fellow streamer as well. If you like variety, I believe Pixel still streams Flight Sim, but I have seen him do sports games, including PGA Tour, and it's great to tune in. He's warm and welcoming, has a wonderful way about him for just doing his content. So by all means, if you haven't followed Pixel Penguin already, feel free to do so. Now let me think. Oh, you know what? I'm not worried about it. I can always come back to Claremont to buy the garage online. So I've got a delivery to make. Let's go ahead and do that. We've been traveling through France today, and I have visited a few places. I came into France during the week off stream from Germany, and I am also trying to do jobs that take me into Switzerland. There's a World of Trucks challenge right now where they have people do deliveries to and from Switzerland. So I'm hoping that the next hop after this one is into, Geneva or Bern. So we'll see. We'll see. Whether or not it happens, I'm not sure. But that's what I'm hoping happens next. And as always, everyone, if for some reason the audio levels are too strong or too quiet, just let me know so I can adjust them to make them more comfortable for you. We are leaving Clermont after delivering some cargo across town, and we are on our way to Lyon in France. After which, I'm going to see whether or not we can actually visit Switzerland today. But we are doing the thing right now. And we're about to hit the toll booths. So let me go ahead and make sure I stay towards the left. I like these kind of, for lack of a better phrase, easy passy type lanes. You can go through the ones where you see those rotating kind of coin things. They kind of require some manual intervention. You have to press a button. I like going through the I've affectionately dubbed these easy pass lanes. So I'm a fan. I'm trying to figure out whether or not I want to do any flying in an X-Plane or in Microsoft Flight Simulator today. I flew an X-Plane once or twice over the past couple of weeks, and I did. My stream last week, late Saturday night, was X-Plane. I might pick that back up again tonight. Not to fly in Alaska, but to fly in, say, a different part of the world. Whether it's the Caribbean or South America, I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet. Or I can always just pick up MSFS and go virtually anywhere, because that has all the, all I do is stream the ortho scenery to my computer, and then we go where we go. I've kept saying stuff like, oh, I want to go like Southeast Asia, or like I want to go visit like India or something. I'm in the process of re-downloading my ortho for X-Plane instead of recreating my ortho myself, because of the fact that fresh scenery got created for X-Plane about 3 or so months ago. X-Plane, the X-Plane base scenery for the entire world got updated. So, along with the fact that I wasn't flying X-Plane 11 much at all anymore, I decided to get rid of it. I decided to get rid of a whole bunch of satellite imagery that I downloaded for X-Plane 11, and I just said, okay, no, bye, see ya. So I got rid of it, and I said, okay, we're gonna go all in on X-Plane 12. So I didn't quite know where to go, because I was like, oh, I guess I'm gonna remake all my ortho scenery, and then I said, no, I am going to try auto ortho, and I did, and I am supremely glad I did. The scenery, the satellite imagery is reminiscent of the same level of detail that I was supplying for multiple regions across the world, like probably somewhere between zoom levels 15 and like 17, and that's respectable. It's not like zoom level 19, but it is actually quite nice. So instead of deciding, oh, I'm going to rebuild all my ortho for X-Plane by hand, Auto Ortho takes care of all the work for me, and I've downloaded the scenery to my computer instead of streaming it. So then that means that my computer can spend more energy flying the sim. The only downside to it is that I put the ortho scenery on my plate drive, my mechanical drive, so the access speed isn't the best. But I'm not flying fighter jets in X-Plane. I'm flying airliners or, sometimes even GA. So, like, small business jets. So that's not a major issue. Access speed is not going to be a problem unless I'm flying faster than, like, say, 500 miles an hour at 38 to 40,000 feet. So, there you go. Coming up on another toll plaza. Let's see where this one takes us. Ooh, look at that line of trucks. Wow. I don't think I've seen that much. I've got an hour and 25 minutes to go. And a little bit of joystick drift from my gamepad. It's okay. I saw it, so I was able to correct it. Would I ever become a commercial pilot of any kind? I would probably say only if I had a very, very, very good idea that it was going to pan out. If I would probably be to become a cargo pilot. But I don't think that's a realistic goal at all. Like, I'm not interested per se. I'd like to get better at what I currently do, or, like I said before, branch out and start my own business. So we'll see. We'll see. So no to piloting a commercial airliner. But maybe yes to some kind of, puddle jumping cargo delivery service, or flying eventually a 757 one day, if that was the case. But we're talking about the hypotheticals on the same level as me saying, hey, could I possibly pilot a 737 if both the pilot and the co-pilot were incapacitated? uh, no. So, like, there's way more involved with the process of piloting an aircraft if, say, for example, both pilots were unavailable to do so, and yeah, it's way trickier because it's not just the practice of piloting the aircraft. You also kind of have to steel your nerves and just take the reins in a really, really tricky situation. Yes, many monies, many monies. You're absolutely right. And of course, the idea of being an airline pilot is the earlier you start, the more viable the options are going to be. So you're absolutely correct, and that sunrise is absolutely beautiful. Wow, this is why I like driving in the truck sim, because of the fact that the clouds and the sky, they just look so good. Whether or not this is just a circular skybox that they put in the game, I don't care. It just made the effect so amazing. But you're right, Pixel Penguin. Many monies are required. Many monies. So I'm not worried, and it's also not a goal. So that's about it. It's not gonna get more simple, more. It's not going to get more direct than that. It ain't happening. Would it be interesting if it did? Sure. Is it gonna happen? No. No, 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 no. There are far too many other goals that have to take place first. Far too many other priorities, the likes of which I'm more than happy to take up before that would even be on the table. And by that point, I'd be a French fry. So no, no. I don't think that's happening. I'd be a crispy critter. Ooh, Iberatomica. Wow. What is that like? Nuclear power stuff? That sounded like some serious penguin power, Pixeled. Oops! Excuse me! Ooh, this is gonna be tricky. Uh, can I make this corner? I don't think it's gonna work. Uh, well, let's see. I haven't backed up traffic, or at least I didn't back up traffic, but this is gonna be perplexing. Plus, this is essentially a blind corner. Okay. All right. I'm going to need some room, please. I don't want to hit anybody else. Okay, y'all can go on. Okay, I think dude was doing something nice for me. Now, let's see if anybody else is coming. No, they're not. Wow. Pixel said it's better to operate airliners in your PJs. That's awesome. Man, I knew I liked you. I knew I did. Okay. Um, we're pretty close here. Wow. It's not that I wouldn't want to. It's just that at this stage of the game, I can't. So I'm not going to worry about it. Let's see. Where do you need it? Over there? It's not bad. It's going to be a little tricky, but not bad. Oh, okay. It's going to be a little trickier than I anticipated. Because this trailer is going to make things colorful, shall we say? All right. So, if I cut all the way over to the right, then what's going to happen is I'm going to kind of be locked in that turn for a good, 5-10 seconds. Okay, I'm going to cheat a bit because I don't want to hit anything, including that trailer. Okay, not too shabby. Okay, I do not want a jackknife. Now I can start cutting the wheels the other way around. Okay, we have gotten past the trailer. And now what I need to do is figure out how to get this thing pointed the right way. I'm gonna have to start turning. Wow, I didn't know this thing had four-wheel steering. Hello? Dude, that's dope. Okay, so now I gotta point it this direction. And now I can start turning it the other way. Now I can stay inside the cabin. Now I think we should be good. That's wonderful. Good things. Good things. Sometimes in life, challenges, you know? Oh, wow. I got really close to the trailer. Oh, wow. I wasn't even thinking about that till just that point. That is funny. Hey, the Pi 88. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Digi fam. Hope you enjoy your stay. I am principally a flight sim pilot. I've become a scenery developer over the course of the past, I want to say, couple of years. I'm trying to go pro and be commercial scenery developer, but at the same time, life sometimes means I have to focus on my IRL job more. But we also do some variety streaming like we are doing right now. Truck streaming is not something I do normally, but I am enjoying myself with Euro Truck Simulator 2 and um, occasional other titles. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we just finished the delivery from Clermont to Lyon, and we're going to check and see if we can participate in the Switzerland Connections event, because I want to try to get to here. Only problem is, there is nothing at this company that's going to take me into Switzerland. I don't want to go back to Clermont. I want to go somewhere else. I don't know if I want to drive to Nice, even though it's going to take me, I would say, about 20 minutes. Let me see. I haven't seen the southern coast of France in a long time. Nice and Marseille. You know what? We'll take this job. We'll call today. We'll call today a scrub for Switzerland, and I'll see if I can actually do it this week. If I do. So, one more delivery to the south of France, and then we will probably go fly plane. All right. Okay, let's do this legit then. Slide over into this loading lane. Stop, and then we're going to trailer in. Yeah, Euro Truck Simulator 2 was something that I've been messing around with for years, and the abundance of downloadable content mixed with the new random challenges and the improvements to the simulator over the past uh, three to 4 years especially have made this a very, very enjoyable experience. Extremely enjoyable. So it's a nice sim to play. All right, let's go deliver some cargo. Last delivery of the day in ETS 2. We are now going to go to the south of France, to Nice. Hey, Pixel Penguin. We're going to Nice. Isn't that nice? I had to. I'm sorry, I had to. All right. Time to be a little bit of... oh, no. Fortunately, I didn't have to be a bit of a knucklehead and ruin traffic. If you were paying attention a few minutes ago, it took a while to get into the cargo area because of the fact that I had to really get myself unstuck. But I also do American Truck Sim too. And at the beginning of the stream, I mentioned how it carries more meaning for me because in America, I recognize some areas or some kinds of landmarks more than the landmarks in Europe. It doesn't mean I don't like playing Euro Truck Sim 2 at all. It just means that the areas in American Truck Sim are areas that I would probably notice more. And the level of connection you have when you're playing a game, it sometimes does make the experience more enjoyable. So that's what I mean. All right. 5 hours and 49 minutes of simulated time, which means we'll be there probably in the next like 20, 25 minutes or so. Half an hour at worst. So grab your refreshment of choice and your snack, and we will take you down to Nice. Okay. External contract means I can't go faster than 90 kilometers per hour by default, so that's fine. Let's just get comfy. Cruise control is on. I know this sim lets you listen to music. I don't know if the music in the game is copyright free, so I'm not going to take that chance. But this is my truck. It's a nice truck. Let me give you guys a kind of like pass-by view. Right about here should be good. I'm a big fan of cab over Volvo trailers. In the States, the Volvo tractor trailers have a nose on them. How you doing, Mrs. Digi? All right. Okay, sweetie. Mrs. Digi has been hard at work doing her entrepreneur business. She is an entrepreneur at heart. She had worked for people in the past, and ever since she got the ability to start business and run businesses on her own, she has enjoyed that exponentially more. And I'm happy that what I do for a living allows her to pursue that on a regular basis. It's not always an easy thing, and sometimes it's quite difficult, but at the same time, I'm happy that she is where she is. As for me, right now, today, I am on delivery 3 of 3 in my attempts to get to Switzerland. Unfortunately, those attempts have failed today, but at the same time, hey, these things happen, and honestly, I'm okay. Like, I got to enjoy the French countryside, and it's a nice place to drive through when you're on a highway. Although you do have to stop fairly regularly to pay tolls. So, you know, I did have to part with a good chunk of change. Although I will say that I have made probably between all my garages and deliveries, somewhere in the vicinity of 100 some odd thousand or 150 some odd thousand euros on this stream. I have virtual garages in a whole bunch of countries in the sim, so that seems like a doable amount of progress, so I'm happy about that. And I mix up the brands. It's not like every single garage has a Volvo or every single garage has a Scania for a tractor trailer. I've got different trucks in different places, and I might upgrade the trucks so that the drivers can take on certain kinds of loads, but at the same time, it's not something I've researched yet, so I'm not worried about it per se. This is the truck that I drive, and it hasn't really dawned on me to try driving anything else like a Scania, for example, because I just like driving this too much. It's really cool. I like it. It's got a whole bunch of modifications to it. Over the years, I've, increased the engine, added more axles, turned it into a sleeper. I think I bought it as a mini sleeper, and then I modified the chassis and, you know, added the extra axles. It's I forget what the transmission is right now, but I think it's I guess it's a 12 or 14 speed auto. In an American Truck Simulator, I drive a Peterbilt tractor trailer. My initial plan was to get the Mack truck because I'm a big fan of Mack trucks, but at the same time, I've enjoyed driving the Peterbilt because it has so much power. It's got a hill climb, a hill climb gear ratio, so especially when I'm on the highways and byways that crisscross the country, when I'm not on a freeway or a tollway and have to go uphill, it's got power. So I enjoy it. 3 hours and 53 minutes. So probably about 10 to 15 minutes before I get to my destination in real time. So I'm okay. What does make me wonder is if when it's fall in like 4 months from now, 4 months time, 5 months time, if the trees will actually change color. I'm very curious about that. I wonder if SCS software has incorporated seasons into their scenery. That would be wonderful. It would be. And I've also watched, I mean, I don't know if you guys what your habits are in terms of watching movies or videos. I watch I watch travel videos on YouTube, and over the past, I think, couple of weeks, I've seen more, and I've been on people's streams on Twitch that do train simulators. There are winter mods. You are right. You are right. I just didn't know if SCS software updated their engine to show trees in different seasons throughout the year. Right now, I'm assuming the answer is no, but I had wondered. I had wondered, so. Looks like people are zipping down this motorway, so I'm happy. Rest stop to my right. 9:50 in the morning on a Saturday in the sim. Right now it is about 7:20 in the evening. Both my pets are asleep, and once I'm done streaming for tonight, I will definitely feed them. I might take a short break when I wrap this delivery up to make sure they're fed, but at the same time, if I don't have to wake them up right now, I'm probably not going to. I might wait until they wake up later. Oh, wow. Hey, Sticky Rice, my friend. Welcome. A privilege having you with us today. My friend Sticky Rice is a longtime supporter and friend of the channel, and also a fellow streamer who has recently become a bus driver in Sydney. I appreciate the proposition, my friend. Driving a bus had crossed my mind in the past. I hadn't given it much thought, but I mean, I have operated vehicles before. I haven't operated anything bigger than a pickup truck though, so clearly some education on my part is going to be required. But at the same time, that's a welcome idea. Yeah, I had some snacks earlier, probably I want to say, what is it now? It's been has it been a couple of hours since I started? At least an hour and a half. So I might I might make it a short flight when I go into Microsoft Flight Sim or X-Plane, but at the same time, I I'm still gonna fly. Whether or not I do landing challenges or actually do a flight, I still haven't decided quite yet. Dinner tonight, though, is probably going to be rice, some leftover steak, and maybe a an egg and some veggies. We'll see. We will see. I have to decide. Friday nights for me are usually late, so late Friday night, I decided to make some instant noodles, some ramen, and I definitely enjoyed them. Oh, transit! You were saying that. I was on your stream a few nights ago, and you were talking about transit systems. So yeah, yeah, you were saying like you could easily transfer across the world, or at least it's possible for you to do so, and that's pretty neat, to be honest. Well, there we go. Become a bus driver. Wow. See the countryside. Eat eat lunch. I don't know, in a variety of spots. Although, dude, seriously, like if I ever go down to Sydney, we might have to experiment with some Lebanese cuisine, because some of the stuff you were sharing on your stream a few nights ago, man, looked delicious. Yeah, busted is the bee's knees. Oh man. Everybody, thank you so much for stopping in today. You being aboard and giving, oh, they caught me speeding. Whoopsies. You guys being with me today is wonderful. It makes streaming great to be able to talk to folks like you, and it gives me the ability to just kind of like unload, get your perspective, tell you how I've been, and just move forward. Ooh, an old Mercedes Benz. Wow. So right now we are on our way to Nice in the south of France. We have been doing some cargo deliveries. The last two have been with the World of Trucks Association for the external market. I was unfortunately unable to find any jobs that took me into Switzerland when I was working on short trips. But at the same time, this has certainly not been a bad stream for trucking whatsoever. I have enjoyed myself. And oh, yeah, I actually got an older version of Bus Simulator thanks to my gaming connections through Twitch. So I don't know. I might have to install it and give it a try and see how it pans out. I never have tried a busing simulator, so I'd have to give this a shot. I think it's like Bus Simulator 21 or something. I forget exactly what it is. Yeah, so 21. I'm pretty sure it's 21. Either 21 or 18. The graphics were not like really ancient, so it has to be relatively like in the past like 2 to 3 or 4 years. So I mean, I first bought Euro Truck Simulator 2 in 2014, so the Sims that have been released since then have become progressively better and better in graphics. I know that if you since you are on Twitch, if you have Amazon for anything, you can probably use your Amazon gaming account to get it for free. I think it's still available for free right now. Oh, so wait, Pixel Penguin, do you actually, is that the sim you're using? Is that the sim that I saw you drive a couple weeks back? Because if it is, then I'd have your not your copy, but the same version as you. Oh, okay then. That well that sells me even more on the idea of trying it out. So I might not I'm not going to do it today, but I am going to install it probably tomorrow and see how it performs because it would be pretty cool to give it a shot. All right, did you pay attention? You that's like your second speeding ticket today, so be careful. But this is cool. Whoopsie. Avoid distractions. The closest I got to driving a vehicle with a trailer was several years ago when I drove a pickup truck with a camper attached to it. But that was just a one-time deal, and honestly, I'm not like it's probably not going to be something I do in the near future. But that was fun. When they do what? When they throw their lunch around. Oh man. I laugh, but it's probably not fun to clean up. So, my respect to you, friend. Wide swing. Oh, okay. So driving the bus is like driving a really big car with a wide turning radius. Oh, that's right. I've been down here before, more than a few times. That building looks familiar to me. Okay. All right. Near and finishing in style, going down to the south of France. Isn't it Nice? I mean, nice. It is Nice, and it is nice. Nice. Coffee Cup Arcade, my friend. It is very good to see you. Happy to have you aboard with us as we wrap up our time in Euro Truck Sim. Today I have done 3 deliveries. This is my 3rd and final delivery in the sim, but this is not my last bit before the stream ends. In fact, I am going to prepare to go into either Microsoft Flight Simulator or X-Plane to either do some quick scenarios or a quick flight. MB944, God bless you as well. Good evening. Happy to have you aboard as well. Man, I'm blessed to have so many people say hello. I'm very happy to have the company. We are coming into the end, and we came in from Lyon in central France, and I would have liked to have gone to Switzerland today, but it did not happen. And that's okay. We are delivering our cargo to its intended destination, and then we're going to figure out what we're going to do. Now, the benefit of me playing MSFS is that I can just continue to use gamepad if that's the intent. Oh wow. Call me a turkey. It's my third time. All good. They're making their money off of me. I'm happy. I'm supporting the local constituents. But I was talking about setting up for MSFS. I can continue to use my gamepad, or I can set up my joystick and throttle. And this time, Japan. I kind of wouldn't mind going to Japan. Just one problem. I don't have all of the downloadable scenery that you need to do the Tokyo Bay add-on that I'd like to. I need the Iberia downloadable content pack, and that means I would need to spend about like, what is it, the 17 to 20 bucks required to get it, and then I'd be able to download the software. It would take a little while. We would be chatty on the stream, and I could try to do it, but I don't know what else has to be set up for it. You purchased the gamepad as well. I mean, it is possible. It's quite possible to use gamepad in Microsoft Flight Sim. It's just that it is tricky sometimes to land with it because it's very, very responsive. Let's see. What do we do? I'm going to play it safe because I'm lazy. All right. Hit the bump. There we go. I hit the bump. I barely felt it, and now I can park this thing right by the fence or the wall and turn in. Bam! Alright, parking brake, engines off, and we're in. That's my third and final delivery for Euro Truck Sim 2. Okay, I still have a little bit to go before I get to elite level. I am level 29 right now. That was not bad. That was not bad at all. So that's pretty good. Yeah, if you haven't tried Euro Truck Simulator 2 and you like the idea of piloting a tractor trailer in Europe, they routinely have sales on their downloadable content, but the product itself, the game, may be on sale right now. But yeah, I think at some point I might even do a bus sim run, but not at the moment. So let's kick you guys over to the Be Right Back screen. And I can set up for Microsoft Flight Sim. I'm probably going to take this gamepad off because the Joy-Con drift is starting to become more and more prevalent. And this is the gamepad, a wannabe gamepad that I've had probably for almost 18. Is it really 18 years? Wow. Yeah, I guess so. So I've had this gamepad for a while, and it served me well. I've gotten a second gamepad, but the problem with the second gamepad is that the triggers are not analog triggers. They're basically just buttons. So it's a great controller for, truck simming because I can hit cruise control, but not for flight sim because that would mean my rudder inputs would be off on, like just instant or nothing. So there's that. Let me think. What do I want to do? I could probably do an ultra short haul in the sim. I could do a longer haul, or I could just do landing challenges. which are fun in and of in their own right. It's also about 7:30, so let's see. I've been streaming now for almost 2 hours. I don't want to stream for too much longer. I mean, it is the Memorial Day weekend, and I'm not traveling right now, so I could probably just do that. But I also want to settle in, just catch up with Mrs. Digi, and make some more food, take care of the pets, and then have maybe one more evening cup of coffee and just chill, air my thoughts out, that kind of deal. Um, I think one of the things that's made me think and really made me happy that things are the way they are is that I've kind of been forced to think about things and think about the direction I want to take. And you can't do that without actually stopping to think about stuff. And usually, what I try to do during the week is I work 8 to 12 hours, stop, take care of things like make dinner, take care of the fam, and then squeeze out some time to either work on scenery dev or try to do some other stuff. Ideally, I should be using some of my downtime to, improve my skill set and do a better job at what I do. But sometimes I have an 11-hour workday, a 10-hour to 11-hour workday, and it's very difficult to put yourself in a spot where you can improve easily. It doesn't remove the standard. It just means that you have to choose whether or not you're going to do that. All right, let me check something before I continue. That's going to determine which sim I use next. I want to check my auto ortho install to see what areas I currently have. I have North America, South America, and Europe. I could do I could do a very quick run from maybe, I don't know, Amsterdam to London. I don't know. How long would that take? I guess I have to figure it out. Let me go on simbrief.com and get set up. Yeah, yeah, we probably could do that. Or something in the interior. Maybe Venice to Rome or Venice to Vienna. Yeah, yeah. It could be a beautiful flight. Okay, I'm gonna run this. I think I just decided. We're gonna go into X-Plane and we are going to go from Venice to Vienna. A bit of a commuter op in the Tolis A319, which I like to fly, and it's gonna be dark in real time, so we'll probably either go into the next day or we will scale back to this afternoon. London City is a challenge. I also haven't flown there in a while. So let me do that. Let me check and see, where would you fly to from London City? Flights out of London City. Flight info, London City Airport. So departures and arrivals. It doesn't actually show anything? Really? So there's British Airways, ITA, KLM, Logan Air. Okay, okay. So we know fairly sizable planes land at London City. So planning a flight into or out of London City? BA flight JFK. I mean, it's not impossible. You could probably get a long range version of the A320. They do exist. So that's not going to be an issue. All right. Let me fire up SimBrief and get a flight plan going. So let's do that. Shouldn't take more than a few minutes, and then we'll get a flight out of here, out of wherever it is to London City. E-Tops hype. That's nuts. Uh, an A318. That's a genuine baby bus. All right. So here's the question. Do I have any liveries, any European liveries for my Tullus? Oh, of course. Yeah. Aeroflot, Aer Lingus, Austrian, Eurowings, LOT, Lufthansa, Austrian, Cobalt, Aegean. So let's do, I don't have British Airways right now, but let's just say Eurowings as a charter to London City. So I'll be flying the CFMs. Let's go ahead and fire this thing up. Okay, just gonna take me a little while to get the screen configured, and then we'll fly from, yeah, we could fly from Amsterdam to London City. So let's create a new flight, and it's gonna be, I wonder what, yeah, let me look this up. Airline codes. I want to find the airline code for Eurowings. So I'm looking that up right now. It's EWG. So EWG 197, and we're departing Amsterdam and going to, what is it? EG? I think it's EGLC. Yeah, I believe it is. Let's go ahead and pick the A319. Yeah, that's it. So flight block time. Oh, goodness sakes, this is a short flight. Block time is an hour and 10 minutes. Yes, thank you. So block time is an hour and 10 minutes. This is going to be a relatively zippy flight. All right, standby chat. Let's load in. I'm going to choose the plane. So let me go back to the sim. Here we are. All right. Tolless high def. Let's pick Eurowings. And we'll load in at Amsterdam. Now, here is the question. Let me see if I can find the Amsterdam Eurowings terminal. So, information, Eurowings, airports and terminals, and London Heathrow, at London Heathrow. No. Give me Amsterdam. National airports, Birmingham, Jersey, international airports. Da 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 da. Really? They don't have it listed? No. Slow down. Let me look. Finland, Cyprus, Italy. Um, oh, okay. It's just not going to work that way. That's fine. There we go. So I'm going straight to the airport site and flights, departures, Eurowings. Let's see. British Airways, BA 423, details. And where are they? They are going to be at gate D16. So that's okay. That's enough. That's enough of a assumption for me. I'm going to pick gate D14 and VFR. If we do real world date and time, it's going to be 038. It's just past midnight, so we'll forward to the morning times. And that should be enough. Okay, it will take me a little bit to get everything loaded in, and hopefully I have no problems with scenery loading. This thing does take quite a bit of my performance, so if the stream starts to go south, I apologize ahead of time. I'm going to shut down my Steam account so I have more room available, and we're going to plan the flight. So we're leaving Amsterdam, and we're going to go into London City, and I think it is Oscar Kilo, November Echo November. I don't know what the flight number or the FIN number is. Excuse me, the FIN number. So we'll see. One quickie flight before we call it a day. Yeah, so the scenery is loading from the plate drive, so it's going to take a little bit longer than normal. Hopefully my auto ortho is working correctly. It'll be nice to go into London and out of the Netherlands with ortho available. I have a few add-ons for the sim, mostly aircraft, a few bits of freeware scenery installed, and some of the old payware that I had from X-Plane 11, including some Vertical Sim Studios airports like Providence and where else? Ontario and California, and also I think Cedar Rapids as well. I think these were made a while back, so maybe some changes happened to the airport since then. Probably. I flew X-Plane 12 for a little while with all of the bits and pieces just as default scenery, but I wanted to get satellite imagery reinstalled. And I am very happy that I have. So, one final flight should do it. Mrs. Digi is still doing her thing, and I will definitely take a break and make a nice, yummy dinner afterwards. I'm sorry it's taking so long to load. But if the scenery loads in nicely, then it'll be worth the wait. I'm going to be flying it offline. I'm not going to be on VATSIM or IVAO. I'm just going to go ahead and enjoy this flight. The approach into London City will be tricky enough. Although I don't think I'd mind going back on VATSIM in Europe again. It just the, settling in again is going to be difficult, but the only way to grow experience is to do stuff. So eventually I'm going to do that again. Hopefully this did not freeze or get stuck. But I also haven't flown in the sim in Europe since installing my ortho, so we will see. I know my computer's responsive, so I know we're not running into a problem with my computer locking up. Otherwise, you guys probably wouldn't even hear me. But I'm also not touching my keyboard at all. I'm trying to see if X-Plane can sort itself out. If X-Plane is locked up, I'm probably going to close it and try one more time. Otherwise, I'll probably go into Microsoft Flight Sim and probably try the same thing with 737, which in one sense would probably be easier because I could exert more manual control over the 737 than an A319. It's not that you couldn't hand fly an A319. It's just that it's going to fight you more for the controls, I feel. Mm-mm-mm. Any reason why you're not responding, Sim? I would really like it to load. I'm going to check the task manager. Okay, X system isn't responding. It's only at 5.8%. So I'm going to change the affinity slightly. I'm going to make it real, not real time, above normal. Usually I can do something like that without messing up my system extensively. OBS is also taking the lion's share of my GPU, or at least half. I'm going to give it like another, I'd say 90 seconds. If it doesn't do anything in the next minute, it's probably not going to do anything. And I'm going to just try it either again from a different airport, or I'm not going to. The loading in is taking a while. This is definitely atypical of most loads that I have. And it could be because I'm loading Europe for the first time. But I don't want to keep waiting, especially if nothing's going to happen. Memory size is about 8 gigs so far right now for the load in. So we'll see. Nothing's really changed. Hmm. Mm, nope. Nothing's happening. I'm going to go ahead and stop it for now, and we're going to try it again. So, fortunately, it went straight to desktop with no problem. We'll try one more time. And boom. All right. I don't know if resuming the last flight's going to help me, but it is picked. And what gate am I at? D14. Okay. TOLUS chosen with the Eurowings livery, and that should do it. We'll set it for like 5 a.m. and that's it. We'll see if it was a hiccup. Excellent, Sticky Rice. Enjoy your workout, friend. We'll see if it works this time. If it doesn't work, I might try one more time, either loading in at London City or loading in at, like, say, Manchester, and genuinely doing a reposition or a commuter flight from Manchester to London City to see if it's the region that has difficulty loading in. If I can't use X-Plane, I can't use X-Plane. That's okay. I'm not going to worry about it, but I'd like to, if only to test the the simulator out. This looks about right. This was taking as long as it did to load the Airbus, but once we got to preparing world, it just stopped or it got stuck. Okay, my PC's warming up. The processor's definitely working. All right, we're preparing world. Let's see if it loads in. Beautiful. It was just a load issue. Got it. Let's go ahead and go to my plugins, turn off Xpilot since I'm not going to be using it. And now I should be able to use live traffic. We are at default Amsterdam, and it's kind of looking nice. I've got some stutters going on at the moment. Don't know why, but whatever. We'll take this in stride. I think it might be due to all my plugins loading in. And wow, does the sky look nice right now? Not perfect, but nice. Okay. Looks like the sun has come up. Yeah, yeah. The ortho's nice, without question. This is a default airport, so it's a thing. And where does the highway go underneath the oh yeah, it goes right through here, I guess. That's pretty cool. All right, are the aircraft here? I don't see anyone on the ground other than myself. Yes, this is auto ortho. So auto ortho basically allows you to install the ortho on your computer. I was under the impression that auto ortho would stream the tiles to you as you flew, but I think it still does that, but at the same time, I just opted to install the scenery sets. Like I installed, North America, South America, and Europe. And it does look like we have traffic now. There's a cargo plane right there, I guess. Yeah, let's get to work. Let me get the plane set up. And let's make sure we have external power available and get the plane nice and comfortable. External power, high pressure and low pressure chocks are installed. We'll get the airplane configured. Fire tests are good. Let's go ahead and turn on the IRS calibration and also do an enunciator light test. Looks okay. Looks okay. Toeless hype. All these screens are coming up. I think we're okay. So, we should be able to request ground services as well as jetway attachment. The beauty of X-Plane 12 is that the default jetways attach. And I will get the service started. So let's go ahead and plug in and get our situation taken care of. I'm going to be doing a daytime flight. And man, if this scenery isn't heavy on my frames. This is default scenery. A teensy bit humbling, but such is life. All right, that's good. What's the registration on this again? Oh, just Echo November. Okay, let's put that. Echo November is the fin number. And an hour, 10 minutes block time. We'll go ahead and generate the flight right now. Most of the time on the flight's going to be over the water. The initial altitude is going to be 20,000 feet. Is that where we're going to stay? That's actually a good question. Flight maps. Let's take this into charts and get the flight ready. All right, signing in. And here we go. I'll share my screen with you so you can see what I'm doing. Unless my browser or my OBS program doesn't want to show me anything. My frames are tanking. Wow. I mean, you know, this is only like 1080p, but still, we've got a lot of effects going on right now, so that's all right. I'm gonna leave my views and such alone, so unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to share my browser screen with you, but that's okay. We're gonna be departing on runway 18 left. 18 left is not that far away from where I am, so that's good. Yeah, I would just go down, I think, taxiway Bravo to November 2, Echo 6, cross 09er at Echo 6, and then line up for departure. So it's going to be a relatively short taxi, so I'm okay with that. Let me see what else is there on the flight. All right, give me the briefing preview. Briefing preview, cost of the next 36. So let's start planning this. I will grab the screens and get started. We should be good for current AirAct cycle. And I will put in my flight. It's going to be Echo Hotel Alpha Mike to Echo Golf Lima Charlie. Flight number, I thought I said EWG. Yeah, EWG 197. Cost of the next 36. And we're literally flying no higher than 20,000 feet. That's actually pretty interesting. I for sure would have thought we were going to see the threes, but that's all right. Next page, we need to figure out how much fuel we're taking for this flight. Looks like it's going to be a relatively short one. So the max we can take for any potential diversions is 12,000 kilograms. So let's go into the ISCS screen and plug it in. But if you are anything short of a long time watcher of the channel, then you probably don't know that I like to tanker fuel, which means I take a lot more fuel than necessary. I usually always do. 12,000 is my limit. Also, we're going to take a 10,300 kilogram payload, which means 2,500 pounds of cargo. So 1,200 up front and 1,300 in the rear, or 1,000 up front and 1,500 in the rear for a potentially better ratio. How many passengers? We're taking 99. And PAX distribution usually isn't going to be an issue. We apply the load settings, we apply the fuel defuel settings, and what are we doing? I think we're okay. Are we flying with CFMs today? We probably should be. So we're taking 12 units flat for block fuel, and oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot to take the zero fuel weight numbers. It's going to be 53.2 at 28.5. At 28.5. Okay, there we go. We're going to have extra of 8.6, and it looks like, oh, at least 8.6. It's 9.3 now. We have at least 4 hours of extra fuel, it looks like. Or it's going to take us to 0453 Zulu. What is Zulu time right now? Oh, no, no, no. That means an extra 4 hours and 53 minutes of fuel. Okay, so let's take a look at the flight plan and look at departures for Amsterdam. Today we'll be departing on the Valk 5 Echo departure. Valkyrie out of runway 18 left. 18 left. And what's our transition? No transition, I don't think. Insert and give me a moment just to double check my sound options right now. Yeah, we're good. We're good. All right. So when we get to Idrid, we're going to be using some airways. So let's take a look at airways out of Idrid via Lima 980 to Abned, and then, oh, excuse me, we're going straight to Zaman, because that's the same airway. Yeah, erase that. Try it again. No, 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 no. I don't want that. I want to use the airway. Lima 98. Oop, excuse me. Lima 980 to Zaman. And that should do it. Yep, that's it. And then we're going to use the Zama 1 Charlie arrival into London City. This is going to be a little bit freaky. So we're taking runway 09er, so we're landing eastbound. Okay. And it is 1 Charlie. Okay. Vias available. Let's go ahead and pick this out. Let's look at the approaches for London City. Honestly, we'll probably go straight in to the final approach, so no via. And that's it. No transitions. Now we insert, and we'll take a look at the flight plan. Are there any discontinuities? Absolutely nothing. Wow. The flight planning in Europe takes you straight in. I like. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish our setup. I'm going to depart with flaps 2 like I usually do. And we're going to take 134 for V1 and rotate speeds. And 137 for V2. Flex temp is going to be 66 degrees. And what's the transition altitude out of Amsterdam? I wonder, I don't know. Let me finish my selection of an ILS though. Yeah, that'll do. And then we have that. What was I looking for? Runway 09er. Oh, my departure out of Amsterdam. Silly me. Okay, initial climb clearance is flight level 060, so I'm assuming transition starts at 6,000 feet. And our GPS is aligned. Okay, so now we've got the performance numbers in, and I can double check to make sure we're ready to go. Otherwise, I think we're done planning. Let me get this cleared and set on the flight plan, and that's it. Stand by, chat. We're about to take off. And it looks like they're wrapping up with their groundwork. Dope. Okay, let's prep the cabin for departure. Let's go ahead and disconnect the jetway. Okay, service is complete. All right, logo lights to position 2. We'll get the fuel pumps going. Beacon light on, crew supply light on, and overhead lights up, standby compass light on, dome light to bright for now, and we will get the APU master switch on, and we'll get the APU started. What am I missing? Well, let's see. Let's set the initial altitude to 6,000 feet on departure. And what is the current weather at Amsterdam? We'll find out right now. Stand by. Weather is currently winds 140 at 7 knots. Cav OK. Temperature 12 is dew points 11. QNH is 1016. There we go, 1016, and should be good otherwise. I'm just waiting for the APU to come up. TCAS standby, which means I need to set my TCAS. 2257 on transponder mode. It is on right now. Door is locked. And let's take a look at the machines. It is currently available, and I'm going to go through my screens. Fuel is 12,000. We'll burn through some as we get the APU running. Running on external power, but we do have APU gen available. Okay, cabin temps I think are nominal. Doors are closed, slides are armed. Tire pressure and brake temps are good. And we're good. Let's go ahead and prep for departure. Excellent. Okay, APU bleed is on. External power is now no longer in use. Let's go ahead and remove the outside surfaces. So external power is gone. Chocks should be off because parking brake's on. And high and low pressure air is now gone. Let's go ahead and prep ourselves for departure. What are we missing? If we do a straight pushback, we should be able to go up and to the right, I think, or just to the right. And if I take a look at my map to see the charts at Amsterdam, then we'll be taxiing Alpha 8 to Bravo, and then Bravo to November 2, November 2 to Echo 6, crossing runway 09er to our departure runway. There we go. Simple enough. Let's request a pushback.
Skipple ground. Charlie Golf Tango Lima Sierra. Request pushback straight back.
Charlie Golf Tango Lima Sierra. Stand by. Pushback tractor is on the way.
Okay, so no worries about the call sign. I usually never get that right anyway, but I did have my flight set up through SimBrief with the correct registration, so I'm not worried about that. Pushback truck is coming shortly, and it does look like we are flying with CFMs today, so very much happy about that. Speaking of which, Let me just test. Okay, this isn't working, but probably because I don't have my engines on at the moment. Let me see. What can we do to get this set up to go? Do I care about charts? I mean, I can. I'll probably need all the help I can get. Adictos a las rating. Hello, welcome aboard, folks. Happy to have you. We are an X-Plane.
Release parking brake.
Parking brake released. And let's go ahead and start the block timer. We're going for it. Here goes the start. I'll pull up charts for our arrival once we get going. Doing a straight pushback, we'll taxi via, I think I said Alpha 8 to Bravo, Bravo to November 2, November 2 to Echo 6.
Disconnect. Pushback completed.
Thank you very much. Have a great day. One flight tonight, one flight only on X-Plane 12, and we are going to get out of town. We're flying from Amsterdam to London City today. Almost done with engine 2. Let's start engine 1. And while we're doing that, we'll get the flaps into place. And we will get our... Actually, what do we have? What did we have for our departure performance? Oh. Actually, up of nothing. So up of 0.0. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I forgot to put the rest of it in. Flaps 2 with an up of 0.0. And there we go. So down nothing. So we actually don't need trim. Or much trim. Well, actually, this is not real time. I'm flying more in the morning time. So we won't see the Ferris wheel lit up, unfortunately. But both engines are running. I'm going to go ahead and switch over probe heat and turn the APU off at this time. Can confirm both engines are available. All right, APU bleed is off. APU is off. The taxi lights I'm going to put on. And we'll drop the landing gear lights into position. I'll turn my dome lights off, and we will check our flight controls briefly before we depart. So, here we go. Full left, full right, full forward, and full back. And speed brakes work. We will rearm them, and I will double check my I see. Okay, got it. That's fine. Parking brakes on, it was complaining. That's interesting. Ah, okay, so I don't need to hit the reverser button. Truck in the bus. Cargo Fire. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome aboard. We're doing a one flight only flight in the TOLUS 319 to London City. Okay, so I'll get my screens up and configure ourselves for departure out of Amsterdam Schiphol. Cargo Fire, I am all the better to see you, my friend. Taking it easy on a Saturday night. We did quite a bit of trucking earlier in Europe, in Euro Truck Sim 2. And now we're doing a flight from Amsterdam to London City for our good friend Pixel Penguin, because I believe Pixel was the one that wanted to see the London City approach, and we are on our way out of Amsterdam. This is going to be a really fast flight. The sim brief profile set me and locked me at 20,000 feet, which I find kind of funny. But yeah, there we go, man. We are on our way out, and we are going down Alpha 8. We're going to go all the way to Bravo, and then we're going to taxi down Bravo to November 2, Echo 6, and depart. I'm checking. I don't see any airliners in front of me, but there were some that came in or that were on the ground at Amsterdam earlier. It's a pickle over landing. Yes, I think it's the steepest instrument approach in the world at 6 degrees, unless I'm incorrect, which I have been before. Never you worry. Okay, so I do think there are some airplanes on the ground. However, I'm also not going to pay too much attention to them. TCAS needs to go from standby to TARA, which it now should be. I'll double check. Yeah. And let's go ahead and coast for a little bit. Okay, auto brake max. Spoilers are armed, and takeoff config will test before we depart on 1-8. And I apologize in advance for the stuttering today. I wish that wasn't the case, but Amsterdam is a huge airport, so if it didn't stutter on my setup, I'd be surprised. Alright, so flaps are set. Let's go ahead and get out of here. Also, I do believe I have either SimHeaven America or SimHeaven World installed. I don't think I have SimHeaven World installed. I think it's just SimHeaven America. That's what I was going to do. Okay. Stop for a moment. Stop. Let's see where we are. I'm going to go ahead and go, what is it, this way? Not a sharp right. I think it's going to be this way. Yes. Here we go. So going to November 2. And November 2 will take me across the wigwag lines, which means, guess what? I'm going to turn my strobe light on. And wing lights on for safety. Oh wow, this thing is stuttering. .206. Nice. I do dabble with helicopters in the sim more often than not. Bell 206 even, yep. Alright, so we're about ready to take off. We'll get my taxi light off and my landing lights on. I think that's it. Takeoff config. Are we good? Are we good? We are good. Takeoff no blue. Alright, we're configured. I'm not on the network, so you know what? I'm probably going to go ahead and set myself up for max cruise on departure already. And since I don't see any traffic coming in, we're number 1 for departure. Chrono on. Alright, I do wish that my sim behaved a lot better than it is right now. I'll tell you that right now, but Unfortunately, it is what it is. I do wonder what's going on though. Let me pause the sim for a moment. Is it because I have so many charts, so many screens open? Uh, that's deliberately. Yeah, this shouldn't be a problem unless OBS is being a bug, which it could be. And remember, this is like, actually, no, I don't know if I can see that anymore. Could be the sim, could be the airport, probably both. Let's go. All right, here we go. Sorry for the stutters. We should be getting out of here momentarily. Take it to about 50%. Manflex 66 SRS. Auto thrust is blue. Let's go. A little bit of forward pressure. Oh, wow. The frame rate is so bad right now. 100 knots. Keep a center line, please, DIGI. Alright, V1 and rotate. Here we go. Gentle pressure. Let the plane takes care of itself. That's good. I won't be flying on here on VATSIM because my frame rate's terrible. Positive rate of climb. Let's go gear up. Flaps to 1. Just a teensy bit of hand flying. And now we're done hand flying. At 1,000, autopilot's on. Yes, X-Plane 12, Eric Flight. Welcome, my friend. Yes, I was actually. I haven't actually changed my stream title yet. Let me update that. Okay, thrust climb is set. I'll probably update the stream after I get my flaps put away. I will close this. And I apologize because apparently my sim is just not having it in terms of frame rate. Wow, it's not good right now. But I am going to disarm the spoilers, and that should do it for post-departure work. Slats and flaps can go away, and I can put ignition back to mode normal. So I think it's the scenery loading that's causing the problem, because when I look into the plane, we're fine. Ooh, actually I haven't used better pushback in a while. Thanks for the reminder. I might have to get that. I'm okay with the default pushback just for getting me out of places real quick, but if I am going to start using X-Plane 12 a lot more, that would be a good idea. But that's fine. Again, this is the first time I'm flying out of Amsterdam with auto ortho, so if my computer's getting used to the object load in, then we're fine. I will say for managed ortho scenery, the view is beautiful. It's nice. Nice. Okay, we have passed 6,000 feet. We'll go to standard. And we are on our way to London City today. It looks like my frame rate has improved, so I think the problem was the scenery load in at Amsterdam, or the simple fact that all of this ortho is taking up my VRAM could explain the really bad frame rates. Hopefully this is a first time load in issue and it will go away as I fly back here, because the scenery looks absolutely beautiful and I wouldn't want to pass up the chance to visit this place again. I don't think it's a problem with live traffic, but yeah, I think we're good. Top of climb is going to be pretty soon, actually, in about 26 nautical miles, which is definitely atypical for any kind of jet flight I do in the sim. So it's not the ortho. I don't think it's a scenery load-in because I can still see houses and trees. I think it's everything, including the weather rendering. But now we're getting smoother, so it could have just been the fact that Amsterdam is just a challenge for me. So that's okay. All right, so as we're getting settled into our flight, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the arrival plate. Let's see if I can find... There we go, Zaman 1 Charlie. There's my arrival plate coming in from Zaman and Logan. Wow, as early as Logan we're going to be... Really? Wow. Let me think. Oh no, we are going to be below 10,000 feet. Okay. One thing that isn't immediately clear about this is that this is a, like, distance goes by faster than you think. So we'll do fine. ILSDME runway 9er. Glide slope is 5.5 degrees. And there we go, that's it. Airport's not that big. We're landing to the east, which means we'll have a few opportunities to pull off for back taxi to the main apron or east apron. And that's it. Not much else to do, chat. It's okay, it's all right. You got it, man. Okay, rapidly approaching top of climb. We've got about 4,000, well, at this point, almost 3,000 feet to go. And we are hopefully going to be on the ground in London City pretty quickly. It does look like there's just a little bit of load-in problem with the ortho, but the ortho's so nice. It's pretty. Ooh, look! Another plane. And weather? What? Uh-oh. Just to be safe, chat. Just to be safe. What's the temperature outside? 1 degree. And SAT is 20 below, so yeah, anti-ice is coming on. Yeah, there is beverage service on this flight, yes? Absolutely. We do have beverage service, so the flight attendants are going to come around quickly to provide a beverage of choice. And what I'm hoping happens is that the descent phase is going to come a lot faster than I anticipate. Because I'm looking at 40 nautical miles here. Let's go to 80. 80, we've got in roughly 50 nautical miles we're going to be descending. So let's go ahead and go set ourselves up for our approach phase now. I should be able to pull up the info. Destination Mitar, we have winds 090 at 6. Temperature is 14. The QNH, there we go, see? The QNH is 1003. And what's the decision height for our approach? Let's find out, shall we? Decision height is going to be... I always go with the higher number, so 460 feet. And full flaps 130. I normally like going for flap config 3, but this is London City, so we want to be done quick. A Manhattan, please. And what is the approach altitude? 2,000 feet? We'll set it up for 2,000 feet. There we go, 2,000 feet set, and we are literally descending in less than 40 nautical miles. This is kind of nuts. How far out are we? Let's see. We're not that far out at all. Oh my word, this is nuts. I forgot how quick this flight was. Oh man. Excellent. Yeah, there's got to be something up with the ortho load-in in Amsterdam, but hopefully we don't have an issue with ortho load-in in Europe. I'm sorry, in the UK, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, I think after this flight, I'm going to take a break, get up, stretch my legs, turn the computer off, listen to music, catch up with Mrs. DIGI, eat some yummy snacks, and stay up late. Maybe do my round 3 coffee, and think about stuff to do. I got this funky thing in the mail today about expeditions. Apparently, you can actually arrange to do private flights. Oh my word. You can visit different parts of the world. You can visit the Silk Road by private jet. You can also go, I guess, out west. Let me see this. Around the world. All right. So let's see what this costs. I saw what the other one costed. It was not cheap, but let me go ahead and take a look. Does it show? Oh, okay, guys, let's have some fun. So here we go. Around the world by private jet. The itinerary is 24 days. You begin in Washington, D.C., in the nation's in our nation's capital, with a welcome dinner at your hotel, steps from the White House. Days 2 through 4, you go to Lima, Peru, or Trujillo, Peru. Days 5 and 6, which jet? Probably a 757. Days 5 and 6, you go to Easter Island. Days 7 and 8, you cross the international date line at Fiji. Days 9 and 10, you go to either the Great Barrier Reef or Daintree Forest in Australia. Days 11 through 12, Angkor or Beng Melia, sorry for pronunciation, in Cambodia. Days 13 through 15 is Kathmandu, Nepal, and Paro, Bhutan. Days 16 through 17, Taj Mahal, Agra, India. Days 18 through 19, I know, Paro, right? The Serengeti or the Ngorongoro crater in Tanzania. Then Petra in Jordan for days 20 through 21. And let's see, you wrap up days 22 through 23 in Marrakesh, Morocco, and then you return to Washington, D.C. on day 24. I know, it's cuckoo bananas. It's kind of crazy. Oh, and the cost for something like this is something just shy of $108,000. That's a lot of moolah. That is cuckoo bananas. Speaking of cuckoo bananas, we are just about to begin our descent. Now, I think I usually have to engage initial descent. So since we're inside of 10 nautical miles, so we're inside of 5 nautical miles, I'm going to descend a little bit earlier, starting now. Usually, if you begin descent just before you actually hit that descent drop, the descent isn't as bad once you hit that. I have that not. So, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. I got like 20 more minutes and I'm done. 20, 25. Here comes the green tennis ball, which tells me that we are about to meet our descent profile. And you should see this number get bigger and bigger. We are not using that much power. Throttle is idling. And we went from 1,200 feet per minute to 18 to 1,900 feet per minute. Pixel Penguin coming through with a tier 1 subscription. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate your sub. Thanks for your support of the Digi fam, and sincerely hoping you are enjoying this content. Thank you for your support. If I take a look at the approach, we've got... Yeah, we level off at Jacko, and then about maybe 25 nautical miles past that, we continue descent. What is transition level for this area? Flight level 9 or 0 by Jacko. So I would say probably 9 or 1,000. So I'm going to adjust my approach. There we go, flight level 9 or 0. So I'm not going to worry about transitioning just yet to local pressure. This is kind of crazy, and I am seeing the coastline, so we are coming into the UK. Saying farewell to the European mainland. Clouds are a little funky today, but that's okay. We're using default X-Plane 12 clouds, and I'll take the hit for volumetrics. Pixel Penguin, and again, thank you so much for your support of the channel. We've literally been flying for about 20 minutes. I am kind of kerbobbled by how fast this flight is. Wait, does that make sense at all? It should. I might have to do some self-vectoring to get set up for the approach. I might. Okay. Also looks like my pets are up, so I don't want to take too much longer with the flight because I want to make sure everybody's taken care of. And I am grateful for today's flight because it's definitely been a nice one along with the trucking that I was doing earlier today. Tomorrow, I will not be on. I will definitely be like resting and also spending time with family and doing the same thing on Monday before I go back to work on Tuesday. But even for descent profile, we're still getting 360 knots over the ground with almost fully out of throttle. So, oh, we actually are out of throttle, so that's good. Nice. Right about there, I'd say. There we go. Morning screenshot. Okay, we've leveled off for now. We should hear those engines spool up shortly. And it does look like we're going in direct to London City, which does kind of surprise me a bit. I thought that we were going to loop around. Let me double check my flight plan. This should look different than what it is at the moment. Yeah, we're using the Zaman 1 Charlie arrival. So I guess what's going to happen is we're going to go straight from Jago to Charlie Foxtrot 09er and then get turned around immediately. And I want to be at 2,000 for that. We are leveling off to bleed speed off to 250 knots to continue our drop through 10,000 feet, which I'm also happy about because it reminds me to turn my landing lights on. I'm usually not the best reminder personer of having my lights on. And that's it. That should do it at least. And we are going to 10,000 feet now. And again, we do have our lights on for arrival. At least right now, the good news is that my problems with frame rate and stutters seemed to have been I guess, geography-based occurrence at Amsterdam. So I'm hoping that I don't have significant issues landing at London City. I really hope so because London City is a challenge enough without adding to it with frame rate issues. So we'll see. I will probably park at the ramp, say hi really fast, and then immediately raid out because, again, I'm going to be busy with getting ready for the evening. But I do appreciate everybody that's stopped in, everyone that's said hello, everyone that's actually been a part of today's journey. I have enjoyed driving in Euro Truck Sim 2 and also now flying in X-Plane. And It's kind of been a bit of a themed stream because we've been in Europe for all these flights. I mean, if I really wanted to have been on the nose, I could have flown out of Nice to maybe like Italy or like say Alicante or Ibiza or something like that. But maybe I could have gone from Nice to Geneva. I might consider that. Meanwhile, it is quite bright out there. Okay. Yeah, so there's definitely an issue with performance affecting my view of my stream software. So I'll keep my view on X-Plane and keep it there. My frame rates are still quite respectable, so I'm happy about that. And let's see where we are in terms of approach. The other waypoints on the arrival are literally right on top of the airport. So do we have anything to worry about in terms of weather? Let me see. Um, EGLC, give me weather. Sure, visibility. I don't see anything about clouds right now. Looks like conditions are green for VFR, but the clouds say otherwise. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna have to hand fly this thing into 09 to prepare for arrival, but we'll see. Let's get the landing scales on. And we'll continue our descent. Now, for the approach plate, that's interesting. I'm going straight from Jacko to Charlie Foxtrot Niner. It looks like it did not take the rest of the... Oh, that's why. Because the approach that I chose kind of disabled the rest of the arrival. The good news is that the ILS approach is going to take me to where the ILS approach really kind of finalizes. But the bad news is that I have to kind of watch myself. 2,000 feet or higher, MSA. Okay, the good news is I can keep going down to 2,000 feet and I'm not going to be affected by any obstacles. Highest obstacle is at 1,000 feet in downtown. So we are well above. We're literally gonna spin around and we'll need to be beginning our descent at the next waypoint and then go down to 1290 and then touchdown. We've got weather. Yeah, we're still kind of like on the cusp of the icing zone, so I'll turn my anti-ice on. Stand by, chat, we're going in. 210 knots right now. I really would like to go faster, but I guess the computer is doing what it's supposed to do. I could always override the speed, but we're going into London City, so I don't want to mess around with that. I normally use Xenviro for clouds, but I'm also kind of happy I'm not right now because I think it would take more out of my frame rate, and I'm also just trying to do my best to make sure I don't mess up. Let's rearm the ground spoilers, and that means my ground spoilers are armed. Auto brake medium for sure. Ignore the ignition. I think I need to update my version of the Tolus because there's some kind of problem with it. Ooh, wow. I suddenly got hit with a really strong burst of wind. Well, hello everybody. Let's let the autopilot sort that out. Okay, or not. We're going through a pretty strong system. I'm happy at least my throttle keeps my speed. I guess we ran into weather, didn't we? Wow. I'm glad I wasn't in the kitchen. Well, let's see if it stays where it's supposed to stay. Nope. Looks like we are dealing with the weather ourselves, chat. I will go manual mode, and I think we're going to start descending on our own. Let's see if we can get under this and get to better winds. CGs. Did you mean configs? Did you mean rain clouds? I'm not sure. But we are going to put the QNH as 1003. Give me a bit, chat. Just want to make sure everything's set. Be right back. Oh, you can't? Okay. Cool. Cloud to ground lightning strikes. Actually, that's a pretty good point. I probably wouldn't want to be in an aircraft that got struck by lightning, but at the same time, most of the heavies or most of the tube liners are rated to withstand them. Now, the exact parameters of that, I'm not sure, but I would venture to say that while I wouldn't want to be struck by multiple strokes of lightning, I would say most planes would probably be safe. And probably because the airline industry would avoid any and everything to do with regards to flying around or past thunderstorms. However, in general, we're not going to be flying into huge cells deliberately to test airworthiness unless we had a specific need to do so. So I'm going to go ahead and say no. That's probably not something you want to do on a regular basis, but at the same time, it's something that you should flex, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Aircraft should be available or capable of doing that, but we don't want to push the limits. All right, so we are continuing our descent, and hopefully I will see the ground soon. And also, my plane is taking care of itself as we descend. Do I want to put flaps 1 down, chat? I don't know. I would venture to say probably, because we're descending with a slightly higher angle of attack than I would venture to say it would be wise. So flaps 1 it is. And with that, we have punched through the first layer. Safety hype. That was kind of nutty. We are literally 15 nautical miles away from the airport, and I think that's it down there. We do have weather. That was unexpected, chat. Frankly, unexpected. But in the words of Cargo Fire, it's okay, it's all right. I'm very, very happy that we made it through. I'm also happy I can see the ground. It's the ground. Look at the ground. It's the ground. Yay. So, auto bracer sets medium. Ground spoilers are armed. We're going to land 130 knots, flaps full, so probably 135 is going to be what we shoot for touchdown speed. Ground is nice. We have to stay grounded, chat. Continuing our descent, we're going about 210 knots. And what's outside temperature? 11. Once we get to 2,000 feet, I'll go ahead and shut off anti-ice, unless I should keep it on. What kind of work is he doing? Of course, of course. He's a tanner. Almost done. Well, if you don't appreciate 100% humidity, you're not going to like it outside. So, just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. We are approaching 2,000 feet as we approach Charlie Foxtrot 09er. And the moment that we get lined up at Foxtrot 09er, we're going to activate approach mode. Because we got to go down. In a safe, efficient, quick stroke. And there is our intended airport. This is gonna be nuts. So at this point, I'm probably gonna go ahead and keep these screens open. I picked quite an interesting day to fly into London City, wouldn't you say, chat? Let's go ahead and hit flaps 2. And gear down now. Number 1, I don't want to forget. Number 2, I do not want to waste time on that. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn off any ice and get the APU on,
2,500.
but not started. And just like that, we're turning in. We'll go flaps 3. And flaps 4. And the moment my nose is turned towards that last final approach fix, I'm going to go ahead and activate approach mode. Drama's good for ratings. And we are now in approach mode. Approach mode is armed, ILS 09er, nav localizer. And I believe the missed approach altitude is 2,000 feet, and it is unbelievable how bright it is out there. Can we descend like now, please? Yeah, let's go. Okay, this could be interesting. Let's see. Can I forward slip an Airbus? I can!
Sync rate.
Ah, it's only 3,100 feet per minute. Relax. Relax. Okay. Back on autopilot.
Hundred above.
Ignore.
Minimum.
Continue. We're really fast right now, but whatever.
Sync rate. Sync
400.
sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate.
300.
Sync rate. Sync rate.
200.
Sync rate.
Alright.
Rate.
We've got the power.
Sync rate. Sync
100.
rate. Sync rate. Sync rate.
50.
Sync rate.
40.
Sync rate.
30.
Sync rate.
20. Retard. 10. 5.
Sweet! Welcome down, chat. Full brakes. Can we stop, please? There we go. We used up pretty much the entire runway, but we landed. Oh my word. That has to be the wackiest landing I've done. That was unbelievable. All right. So, spoilers are deployed. Let's put them away. Yeah. That was incredible. I don't think I've been that unnerved on an approach in a while. That was superb. It is absolutely pouring. We literally had the nose pointed at the runway, and then like finally came to a good stopping point. Okay, it looks like we're first ones here, and the brakes are hot. Oh yeah, they are. All right, chat. Really quick, we're going to probably do a very fast replay, and then we're gonna raid out because I want to see what this looked like. Short replay, yes, yes, I am curious. So let's go to the main apron and figure out where to park this thing. Oh, let's do it legit. We're good. We're good. I'll keep the wing lights on. We'll get the APU started and hit the APU. turn that off. It's okay at this point. Let's go ahead and pick a spot. I'd say about here is fine. Yep. And good. How'd I park? Well, not that far off, actually. Okay, great. So, one short replay, and then we go. Because you better believe I'm curious about this one. Unless, of course, I just crashed the sim. I think I just crashed the sim. It's okay. It's okay, though. We've got the replay in the form of the VOD. Whether or not the sim survives to give me a replay is something else, but I'm relatively sure I just crashed the sim. Um, probably. Probably. Oh, yeah. Yeah, looks like we did. Okay. All right. So, okay, guys, stick around. I'm going to go ahead and raid out. Let's see what we can find real quick. And give me a bit to get this loaded. So, let's see who's on. I'm going to check my channel. Thanks again to everybody that actually stopped by. And let's pick the channel real fast. I have a feeling I know who I'm going to raid. But let's see. Let's see. Who's flying? Who's flying? Who's flying? Who's flying? Who's flying? Who's flying? Is my friend on? Yes, actually they are. All right, chat. We're going to go raid Scotty the Hottie. Friend of the channel. Thanks again to everybody that stopped by. I'm sorry that the sim crashed before we could get a good replay in. And much love to everybody here tonight. And like I always like to say, if you don't have peace, you want the Prince of Peace, and that's Jesus Christ. Take care, friends. Stick around for the raid. We're gonna go say hi to Scotty Tahati. Take care.